guys, what's up? It's me, Chrissy, and I'm back with a wrap up, the August to September wrap up for 2019. So my reading has still been kind of slow, but it's been picking up just a little bit when I have the time, or like if I feel pretty inspired to read. So yeah, I kind of wish I went a little bit more Halloweeny for my look today, but sadly that was not the case. Also apologies for the air conditioned sound because it's very hot in the Philippines. So yeah. So one of the first things I finished, because it's not in any particular order, I just stacked them all here, was Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Shannon Maguire. This was so good because this really got me back into the mood of reading, because I love how her fiction is so short, but it's just right. Like everything that needs to be said is said. There aren't any extra words that don't need to be there. There aren't any extra chapters that don't need to be there. It's just right. It's like the perfect tiny little fairy tale, and you can finish it very quickly. So I really am looking forward to continuing with the rest of the series. What I also managed to finish was American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. This is like the old cover. So I started this around September also of last year, and it took me about a year to get back into it, and yes, I finally managed to finish. It took me a year, essentially. It was September to September. So, okay. So my thoughts on this are, sometimes the violence really didn't need to be there. Second of all, Patrick Bateman's kind of a dork. Third of all, it got to the point, like at first, it got to the point where I'm like, does no one believe him, or is this all in his head? Because he keeps telling people like, oh, I'm a murderer, blah blah blah, and then I'm like, you know, you're saying that out loud, right? And then I'm like, it's either he just says it out loud in his head, or people just hear him and ignore what he's saying. So I'm like, is it in his head? Is it real? I don't know. So it's very interesting in that regard. But other than that, sometimes, so I felt like some of the just some of the violence seemed a smidge unnecessary. But I mean, that's American Psycho, right? Because it's supposed to be violent. Actually, oddly enough, I prefer the movie. So I finished the Paris review, and I know that isn't really saying much because it's not a book, but it's really nice to read little short fictions or little interviews, just like a palate cleanser of sorts for books. And I finished Ray Bradbury's The Zen in the Art of Writing, like how he writes, how he's inspired, like what inspires him, or his method, and his everything. So that was very interesting, and it was really nice actually. So my friend of mine described this as, okay, so it's just basically him sitting down and talking to you about his experience. So I'm like, oh, so essentially it's like an artist talk, but as a writer. I tried picking this next one up before, and then I couldn't get into it, so I stopped for like 2 years. And then it's like eye level on my bookshelf whenever I leave my room, so it's the first thing my eyes land on. So after a while I was like, you know, I'm gonna bite the bullet, I'm gonna read this, and if I don't like it, I'm just gonna give it away. So I decided to pick it up, and like I couldn't put it down, and that is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Okay, where do I start? It's a true blue fantasy. Everything you love about fantasy is there. The travel, the magic, the mystery, the young protagonist you see growing up, like in a school setting. Like that is my jam. That is like my peanut butter and jelly jam type sandwich deal of a read type thing. Yes. So it has all my favorite elements. But if I was to really critique it, like, or really get a little bit more into it, he kind of does this thing, especially towards the end, where I'm just like, this, like 3 chapters don't need to be here. It's like I think I read a Goodreads comment going like, oh, it's a tangent, but it's like a tangent he didn't need to go on. So like that. I feel like that chapter, those couple chapters could have been not there. I don't care if I get hate for it, whatever. Like, yeah. And I liked him in the beginning, but then towards the end of the book I was like, I don't really like you, what's his name, Koth. Yeah, like I mean, I thought I did, and then as you go on, I'm like, no, I don't like you very much. But I like the story as a whole, and I'm really considering getting more into the rest of the series, maybe. But yeah, this was great because it kind of reminded me, hey, you can still read long books, you can still enjoy them. There's still good fun and good ones out there to read. So that's it. It's not that I'm completely like dissing on this. I mean, I finished it and I would actually recommend it to some people, but it's just that those are just the extra little things that I noticed. So yeah. And the last but not least, I finished 1 to 11 of Grayson. Basically Dick Grayson as a spy for Spiral. I think I finished I read this on the internet a while back, but since my friend has the physical copies, it was so nice to hold and like touch them. So I was able to speak through this, and this really helped me with my little slump this year. So shout out to JB. Other than that, yeah, that's everything I read. If you guys want to discuss anything with me in the comments down below, please feel free to. You know, you want to debate or whatever, let's do that, or like let's just talk, whatever. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, thank you for sticking around, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.